and welcome once again to the Rhythmic Psalter. My name is Sue Wallace and I help churches with their worship and their liturgy. Today is the third episode of this Rhythmic Psalter, and therefore you would think I will be doing Psalm 3. But because most churches that follow the lectionary, that ecumenical agreed cycle of Bible readings, will be doing Psalm 149 on Sunday, I thought, well, actually maybe I should do a setting of Psalm 149 so you can see how that might be used in a church. But also because I want to show you the different varieties of instruments that you can use and that you don't necessarily have to buy any special equipment, I'm going to be using things that I can find in my garden. So, for my first instrument today, I'm going to use one of these buckets. I actually bought a load of them from a pound shop a couple of years ago. They're very cheap, they're stackable, you can get them in different sizes and colours, and they're very useful for all sorts of things. But for percussion, like a drum, they have a nice deep middle note, and we've also got an edge note as well, so you can use them a bit like a djembe. And once again, in church it's really useful to have a phrase that you use to time your drumming, and I like to make my phrase go with the theme of the psalm, and so today I'm going to go for praise be the Lord, praise be the Lord. My next instrument brings a whole new meaning to the word rock music. I'm just going to use two rocks. They're the sort of decorative edging rocks that you find on the edge of a pathway, but you can use smaller rocks or larger rocks. Just be careful not to drop them on your foot or you may break a toe. Once again, having a phrase to time the playing is really useful. And I like my phrase to go with the theme of the psalm, so I'm going to go for praise him, praise him, praise him, praise him. And in a church situation, it's really good to have leaders of the different groups of the congregation who are playing the different rhythms, so that they've got somebody to follow along with, somebody with a stronger sense of rhythm who can keep them into time, almost a bit like a conductor. Anyway, let's put the next rhythm into the track. For my next instrument, I'm going to use one of those garden sieves and a trowel. And I'm going to make a noise that's similar to the noise that those South American guiro instruments make, a sort of scraping noise. And once again, I'm going to use a phrase to help time me. And I'm going to use the phrase, praise be the Lord. Now, I mentioned a couple of days ago that actually one of the oldest instruments was two sticks that you bang together, and these are two leftover pieces of bamboo pole. I'm going to play quite a fast rhythm on this, and if you want to help time it, I'm thinking the phrase, praise be the Lord our God, praise be the Lord our God. While no garden influenced piece of music is complete without the addition of a flower pot. And if you remember as a child, we used to use coconut shells to make horsey noises. I'm going to do something a bit similar with two flower pots, but just very slowly. My next instrument, you can't really let near children for health and safety reasons, but it is a pair of garden shears. And sometimes it's nice just to have a little bit of percussion at the end of a line, just to lead into the next section. And so that's what I'm going to do with this. And now it's time to read the words of Psalm 149 and to add them into the mix. Make music to God, sing a new song. Sing his praise in worshipping crowds. Let Israel rejoice in its maker. Zion's children have joy in their king. Let them praise his name with their dancing. Let them sing with timbrel and lyre. For our God delights in his people. With salvation he clothes the poor. The faithful delight in their glory and sing out for joy on their beds. The beauty of God's praise in their mouths and their two-edged sword in their hands. They will seek God's vengeance on nations and punish the tribes for their wrongs, to bind up their kings in strong fetters, their nobles with chains made of iron, to execute God's chosen justice. Such honour his servants will have. And now we've recorded all the sections. I'm going to overlay them all, one on top of each other, and then we'll be able to experience Psalm 149 as a piece of worship. Make music to God, sing a new song. Sing his praise in worshipping crowds. Let Israel rejoice in its maker. Zion's children have joy in their king. Let them praise his name with their dancing. Let them sing with timbrel and lyre. For our God delights in his people. With salvation he clothes the poor. The faithful delight in their glory and sing out for joy on their beds. The beauty of God's praise in their mouths and their two-edged sword in their hands. They will seek God's vengeance on nations and punish the tribes for their wrongs, to bind up their kings in strong fetters, their nobles with chains made of iron, to execute God's chosen justice. Such honour his servants will have.